Hello and happy Thursday, coming at you live here at Insight Production Studios in Phoenix, Arizona. My name is Robert Morales and my co-host is
Kelsey Rognes. Hello.
Miss Kelsey Rognes. When we are here from RCO Network. RCO Network, good people, better business, discovering the best of you.
For the next hour, we're going to be talking to two very special guests of ours about their life, their businesses, and all this mompreneur stuff. We will also be taking questions live, so type in those questions and comments during the broadcast, and we'll answer them as we go. If you're watching live, make sure that you give us a heart emoji because we love the loves. If you're watching us on replay, give us a wow because, wow, I can't believe you didn't watch us live.
So go ahead and like us here on Facebook and also follow us here at Our Seat Network on Instagram and LinkedIn. Head over to ourseatnetwork.com for more information about marketing your business and sponsorships during these broadcasts. That's my announcer voice. I try. So I was, talking to Gabby. She's our business partner here at RCO Network. And we were talking about different modalities and different things that people are into nowadays. And then I brought it up with Kelsey. This whole entrepreneur thing has been kind of an interesting run when it comes to COVID. And what we've seen is kind of an uptick with, moms and people staying at home, working more. Isn't that right, Miss Kelsey? Are you kind of getting that too?
Yeah, I mean, I work from home a ton. I actually set up the whole little studio that I, shoot my portion of this at home because that's what it is. Webcams, microphones, or reaching people from your home.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I think, when we started our businesses, it came from not being distracted. You don't have any kids, right, Kelsey?
No, I mean, furry.
You got some fur babies. Yes. And I think our next guests do have some fur babies too. But really today's show is about entrepreneurs, but a very unique segment of our population. As we see COVID as one of those impeding things, kids are staying home more because of, being school home or homeschool. And so it's pushed a lot of our moms to kind of explore different business adventures. So with that said, that goes right into what we're here to talk about, right, Miss Kelsey?
Yes.
So we do have we have two guests today. Our first guest, she's an award-winning multicultural marketing entrepreneur. She believes in creating authentic brand messaging. She's a mom, a wife, impact design thinker, and an optimist officer. She's the owner and CEO of Spotlight Media Services. Please welcome Miss Maria Lip.
Thank you.
There it goes. I had to try. They were so happy to see you.
Yeah. Me too.
And then our second guest, she studied at the American Institute of Interior Design. She's a chapter president of Ready, Set, Go, owner and founder of Luxwear, the Glam Mompreneur, and so much more. Please welcome Claire Fifield. I was trying to say that right. I couldn't know if it was. I didn't know if it was a f or just Fifield. Fifield. How do you say that?
Fifield.
Oh, I was completely off.
It's okay. Don't worry.
Oh boy. So we invited you guys here again to kind of address this new, well, maybe not new, but definitely more recognized thing called being a mom and an entrepreneur, mompreneur. So I guess the first question is to both of you and you separately. What is a mompreneur in your mind, in your eyes?
You want to go, Maria, or do you want me?
Go ahead.
So for me, mompreneur is someone who is running their own business, whether it is from home, which almost everybody's running from online, right, because of COVID, or out in the marketplace, and then also giving back to their community, but then also, running their household or facilitating, if you have to outsource a couple projects, keeping everything going.
And you, Miriam? What's your perspective on being a mompreneur?
Is not being willing to sacrifice your goals. You're able to achieve it. It's amazing what we as moms can, and everybody, moms, dads, everybody can achieve when you set your mind to it. So it's not your cake, being able to achieve your goals and still be a good parent and a good role model.
So, in terms of what we're trying to do and highlight is the challenges and things that you guys uniquely face. As business owners, Kelsey and I started our business. She's in lending. I'm in real estate. There are unique things that come about when you're trying to start a business. But it's even a little bit more unique when you have little ones running around. Do you guys want to talk a little bit about your family? I mean, and the reason why you're here.
Yes. So for me, I'm a full-time single mom of two boys, 11 and 6. And I became a single mom again, was it 2017? So like 3 years ago. But I have that like high achieving personality where, I want to have a chair position on the PTO or be on the board or, be in the classroom, all that kind of stuff. And really, I can only do that if I'm an entrepreneur. I wouldn't be able to do that any other way.
And you, Maria?
Primarily, I am a mom of two. I have a 16-year-old and an 8-year-old. And having spent over 12 years in corporate America, I felt that I was often sacrificing the time with my family to be able to spend long hours working, for a company that wasn't mine, just, basically earning a paycheck and I wanted more. So I wanted to figure out a way to be able to give myself to my family and be able to give myself to my passion, which is, helping businesses grow, and, not really have to feel guilty doing one or the other. When you're a professional mom, there's a cartoon out there that shows, a race between men and then women, and all of the different obstacles and hurdles that women have to overcome in order to be able to be at the same level, as men sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, so was it a choice? Would you have been an entrepreneur, do you think, if you had not, I guess, had, kids and a family? Do you still think that you would kind of have that same ambition to work from home and to help and be out of that corporate America?
No, I don't know, because my life would have been a lot different at that point. So I think I am definitely a creature of, of my surroundings and my environment at this point, because, like I mentioned, I have a 16-year-old. So I went to work around when the economy first started tanking. My original plan was to be a stay-at-home mom. And then, because of necessity, I had to go into the workforce, and I had to develop a different side of myself that, I didn't even know I was capable of. And I was able to be really successful doing it, but I was still missing that piece, which was the connection with the home. So my main driver for entrepreneurship was to be able to have that connection with home and to be able to be more present.
Okay. And Claire, how about you?
So for me, I come from a background of immigrants, mostly like second generation, I believe, and entrepreneurs. So I started, having like entrepreneurial endeavors when I was in 7th grade or something. And I knew I like getting cash, being able to determine what I'm worth. And so I'm definitely not a corporate-y person. I've done corporate jobs before, but I usually only finish the task that was available, the second, third day of the week. And then I was kind of just bored. So I'm like, I need to do something else. So I think I would have gotten there. But having kids definitely pushed me. Yeah, after I had my first, I was like, okay, I'm not going to have somebody else raise my child. And then I breastfed like exclusively. So it's kind of hard to be working. There are people who do it, but for me, for what I wanted, I had to be available and home.
Right. And I feel that personally. I don't have any kids, but, I think there's all types of, I guess, personalities that maybe would go into entrepreneurship. And it's interesting to hear both sides of, if you would be in it otherwise or not. And I feel like things in our life, of course, shape us. So that's, you know, whatever path you go down, it could be so different depending on what happens during life, I guess.
Yeah, totally.
And then, I mean, we don't try to get too personal, but we do get personal. So,
Never.
oh yeah, never. So Claire, you said you're a single mom, and so no support. Do you have a support network at home? You know, obviously, if you're a single mom, I'm getting the inference there's no spouse or a partner to kind of assist with or help with.
No. Yeah, no. So I have to. And so like 3 years ago, my ex and I, we had high-end retail, and then we also had furniture stores. So it was, you know, multi-million-dollar businesses. And I mean, I had an organizer, I had a babysitter, I had a house cleaner, you know, I had a lot of help. I was doing a lot and at, you know, a certain level, but I had a lot of help. And now it's like, somebody calls out and I'll like pay, you know, some of the kids will come around, they'll want $1 or $2 to take the trash out, or they'll come over, they'll do my dishes, or, you know, I've got certain people who help out with lawn, like, but by people, I mean children. Like,
you're like, yes, I'll watch your kids. It'll be fine.
Yeah, no. So like, that's how it is now. So it's definitely, I had to just kind of work on the things that I could control, which was still trying to create that lifestyle for my kids where I was around, because I didn't want to not be there.
And what about you, Maria? Do you have a support network at home?
I do.
And what does that look like? Again, you don't have to get too personal, but
First and foremost, I mean, my husband is probably my biggest enabler. He helps me a lot in the sense of, you know, being able to keep the family, you know, together and always, you know, we're, aside from going to work, we're pretty much homebodies. So we all like to spend time together. But my mother is the second person. She helps me immensely with just, you know, making sure that there are hot meals on the table when you know, the boys, I have all boys, so they eat all day long. And
oh my gosh, yes.
Goodness. So she, and that's a very important part of, you know, of the boy's life is, you know, meals. And sometimes I'm not around to be able to accommodate that. So she covers for me in that sense. So I feel very fortunate that, you know, both between my husband and my mom and, you know, all of us together, we make it work. And the kids are seeing, you know, good examples of collaboration among everybody, you know, to make life happen for all of us.
Yeah, and I will say, out of a tragedy, you know, I think most people know my story. I think Kelsey knows it too. But, you know, when I went through my divorce, I left the state work all at the same time, and it was a tremendous, you know, stress and overwhelming to go through that process, and at the same time start a business, you know, and that's when I started. And I will say the support network out there that I had was significant too, you know, going through just the personal crisis and the things you got going on. And then you also have to focus in on trying to build a business. So you're trying to, in one way you're knocked down, another way you're trying to build. You know, that is a very unique position. I can only imagine what that extra layer with children is. And not to say that it's a stress, but it's a definite, you know, kind of weight or impediment to building something, or at least maybe slow you down, and not to sound bad at all. But,
I feel that though. Like I feel, because I don't have kids either, and I've never actually been married, so I don't have that.
You're a free bird.
Huh?
You're a free bird.
But I have done, you know, things that are off the, like, I always am doing different things, hosting karaoke or trivia or something. So it's interesting, like the four of us, how different, yet there's all those similarities between everyone. Even with the added addition, I can't talk today. The addition of kids is just, you know, that extra step and that extra, like your life is full, but you also, I'm sure, feel that.
Yeah. Well, and so as far as the money goes, you know, trying to build a business, I know, and maybe you can fill in a little bit, Maria, too, like the marketing piece, your company, and we'll get to the companies and what you guys do as far as the business goes in a minute after our break. But the financial end of that, I'm sure is somewhat straining because when I was starting my business, I had to forward a lot of my money to marketing. But if I had children, I'm sure that would be funneled to the kids first, because that's why you're working. You're building money to kind of support them. Have you guys had those challenges too, or faced those things?
Well, I think, again, I go back to the support system, and
Yep.
with me being in marketing is actually kind of funny. I built, I spent many years building a reputation and a network of people that when I went into business for myself, I didn't have to invest, a lot in marketing. There is a joke in our industry that, our clients' websites will look beautiful and ours will not even be started, right? And that was kind of where I found myself. It's like, I had to, devote everything to servicing my clients. And again, I was really lucky to have, a working husband that is very frugal and that always, saves money for situations like these. So the challenge was that, he gave me a time frame. He said, okay, you can try it. You have 3 months to start making money. And I was like,
3
what?
months.
That must put the pressure on a little bit.
So literally, and starting with zero. So it was definitely a challenge I was up for. And then, I made it, barely past the 3 months and started creating some income. But then, with being an entrepreneur, everything that goes up must come down. And riding those waves was the challenge for us more than anything, to make sure that our ends were covered. And so I'm very thankful to him for being the very frugal man that he's been, to keep us on an even, not so crazy like this with me being an entrepreneur. So
Oh, I definitely know the frugal partner part. Oh boy. So
I'm the spender.
oh boy, what about you, Claire? Just real quick before we get to our first break.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So for me, definitely the saying that your network is your net worth, it was kind of key for me. So having access, I'm heavily involved with philanthropy and community outreach. So sometimes, when people get to know you, they're able to help you with a few of those resources if you're like, hey, I need a little bit, and I think that's something that people kind of miss if they're just so worried about making the money all the time. Not that money isn't important, but there's other ways to have necessities. We'll just say necessities, since I'm a single mom, right? Necessities met while still following your passions.
Absolutely. So as we take our first commercial break, we're going to highlight one of our sponsors. Our sponsor today, she's also a single mom trying to make her way in this crazy world that we have. So hang in there. We're going to come back with Miss Claire and Miss Maria, talk about their businesses, and we got a contest too. I think Kelsey's going to announce the giveaway today, perhaps, maybe. All right, hold on. Hang on there, guys.
I knew I had much more to share. I knew I had passion for more things. I believe in fitness, but I believe in much more than that. I didn't want to make it just about the body, but I want to make it about the mind and the spirit. God has blessed me with a lot of energy and strength and fire. I can feel it in me, and to make others feel good. And I love doing that. No matter what happens, up or downs is part of the ride. That's how we become the person that we're meant to be. If we embrace life how it's supposed to be, that's how we can become the best versions of ourselves. happiness is something that we can work from our internal work. Everything about the present moment or how beautiful everything can be when we actually embrace the moment. Lalita Wellness is a dream that we as human beings can be complete and happy if we concentrate in the priorities that we should concentrate. This is Lali Peña, owner of Lalita Wellness, and this is our CEO network. I feel awesome. I love it, love it, love it.
That was Miss Lali Pena with Lalita Wellness. Go ahead, Miss Kelsey.
So make sure you keep typing in those questions and keep giving us love with the heart emojis. Wow emojis are good too. Anything good that you're hearing today, keep comments and questions coming, of course. Are we announcing the giveaway?
We can announce one of those. So make those comments and questions and go ahead and as the more you're engaged, the more you're going to win, right?
Right. Are we, I feel like today, maybe draw from a hat.
Yeah.
There's
Well,
two.
actually, yes.
Okay.
We'll get to it. So hang in there. We will be presenting that giveaway just momentarily if you hang on to the end of the show. So we're back with our guest, Miss Claire Fields. Huh?
Fields.
Fine.
Like Fields.
I'm working on it from the mom or the Glam Mompreneur, and then we also have Maria Lip from Spotlight Marketing Services. Go ahead, Kelsey.
So I guess just starting with what your businesses are, maybe have Claire go first. What is your business? What do you do?
Okay, so I founded the Glam Mompreneur. It was shortly after after my separation about 3 years ago. I'd started an online business and kind of built out a team from that of like remote or social marketers and everything. And then I was kind of noticing a need in the community for other single moms and just moms in general that needed to be working from home. So I founded the Glam Mompreneur, and I wasn't really quite sure the direction, but I was like, I just have to get it out there and get it going, right? Oh no, my children.
That's part of the show.
Exactly.
What happened?
Exactly what we're talking about.
So I was going to say, your business, we can get into some more details on it. What is yours, Maria?
We are a full-service multicultural marketing agency, and what that means is we offer every imaginable service when a business needs to reach new audiences, and we put a special focus on multicultural. Not only in the Phoenix market, but across the country. We actually developed a 5-step formula to ensure that businesses trying to reach audiences that are outside the box can actually connect on a human-to-human level.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
When did your business start?
I started in late 2016. So like December of 2016. So I say, it's 3 years going on 4. So.
Yeah, and I did see some Nissan commercials on your site. Was that you and your company?
Yes, yeah. So we work with a local Nissan dealer, East Valley Nissan, and we've been working with them for the past couple of years, actually. It's been a great relationship with them. We manage their social media, and one of the things that separates us from the rest, for the most part, in the social media world, is that we actually go the extra step to create original content for our clients that reflect either their sense of humor or that truly reflect who they are, so that people can connect with them and build a relationship with them through social media.
And I'm so glad you brought up social media. I troll everybody on Facebook. I kind of get into knowing about your life a little bit. I try not to do anything too public that, whenever you post something for everybody to see, I'll fish and post that stuff. But the thing I noticed between the two of you, the difference is, from what I saw, Maria, you tend to be somewhat private in your private life, and you really separate your business. And when I was trolling you and looking on Facebook, I really couldn't make the connection that was your business, which has its advantages and deficits, just like anything else. Where Claire is a little bit opposite. I think she's got two personal Facebook pages, and they're like maxed out. They're both like 5,000 people.
It's ridiculous. Yeah. I mean, I've been on Facebook doing business back from when we had the furniture store and the retail store. So I was maxed out, before everybody was kind of like hoorah about advertising on Facebook or, marketing stuff on Facebook.
Well, the awesome part about having both of you on the show is that I can have the differences between the two of you, right? Somebody who's very public with their personal life that kind of blends into the business, and somebody that really separates that. And I guess from both your perspectives, is there anything that you find as a benefit to somebody getting into being a entrepreneur, being open and also being very closed off, being separated? Is there challenges with that, being open and being very separated? Whoever wants to go first.
Go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So obviously anytime you're putting anything out on the web, it's kind of accessible forever, whether you want to delete it or not, right? So I kind of have grown up being not like in the public eye per se, but I've been on TV. I've been doing tons of outreach. I'm used to having to be out there in front of people. And so even though everything is posted public, I have, since COVID, I've kind of backed off from posting my kids. My oldest has been like, having pictures taken of him since he was like popped out. So he's like, like, creepy.
You mean like this?
Yeah. I mean, even get a shot. I'm like, can we like just push the hair to the side a tiny bit? Only 10,000 people are going to see this, just to the side. And it's, we're working on it. It's the preteen. I'm sure Maria, they're just like, leave me alone. The world is horrible. Right? So it's nice, but there's also, I've had people, I never really post stuff when I'm actually there, which most people don't know. Aside from my sip and shops, I don't post things if I'm actually somewhere, just to because I, for the most part, always have my children with me. And it's kind of a protective measure, but I've had stalkers, I've had people who, decide they need to figure out what my phone number is, or what my Skype is that I haven't used in years based on my IP address, just different things, so I feel very fortunate. And I don't know if everybody believes in God or their higher power or whatever. I always kind of do little prayers of protection for my kids and all that kind of stuff, because there's only so much you can do, if you know what I mean.
Right.
So
I know that I've hosted, where maybe I don't post everything on social media, but I've been a host places. I've had someone follow me home. That you have to be careful and protective about everything that you do.
Yeah, you have to stay aware. And I always live far out. Because like, as much as I like being out there, I don't like being out there. I still like to just, be at home and make dinner and just have a normal family life. So
what about you, Maria? How's that experience been with you as far as dealing with social media? Because that's really what the trend is today. So
I think social media, there's always a place for things within social media. And one of the things that I do is I always think of the audience that I want to reach with the content that I want to promote. So I don't just post things just to post, like, just pictures for the sake of it. Everything that I post has a purpose. For my business, I am trying to attract more people. Perhaps for my business, you'll see more posts that are, strictly business related, that could perhaps offer a nugget of knowledge to somebody. For my personal, I, display some of the, core beliefs, but my true thoughts, say about, for example, politics, religion, things like that, those are personal, and I want to keep those personal. I don't, they're not up for discussion with other people. So that's why I don't post it. I keep my social media a positive place that invites others to have positive interaction, and that is authentic in the sense that, this is my life, this is who we are, this is what I like, whether it's purses or shoes, it's my, it's
Yeah.
what I like. But on the other hand, it's not a place for me to just, open up and showcase all of the great things Maria is, get to know me for that.
So I guess we'll start with you, Maria. Who's your ideal client? Who are you marketing to? Who would you say is somebody that you would want to work with, and what you could do for them? And then we'll go to Claire.
So my ideal client would be a company, for example, that is anywhere, if we're to use annual income, for example, as a measure, it would be a company that is, billing $1 million plus a year, and that would, basically be willing to have a consistent marketing strategy that is, long term, more 6 months to a year, where, we can see the results and scale based on the results. The other side of it is a company that is a positive for the community. There are certain types of businesses that I will actually turn down, that I won't, because our ideals and goals don't align. Being Hispanic myself, I want to bring, positive opportunities to the Hispanic community when we're targeting, Hispanics, that will help the community grow and thrive. So, and also, with general market, I want to see my community, my city or my state, to, that the work that I do represents, progress and positivity.
And then that includes video marketing, obviously, since you did that with Nissan. Is there, you do the social media support, and is there anything else included in that? Is there print marketing or anything besides that?
We are a full service agency, and what that means, for example, my background is in print and television. So we're very aggressive media buyers. Also creatively, we have a full production team. And we actually have different types of production teams available. Like, for example, if you have a client that wants to shoot a Netflix documentary, we can do it. If you have a client that wants to do 5-second commercials for YouTube, we can do it. My primary role is in the strategy, is in taking, the needs of a client and creating a plan to achieve those needs, based on the economic potential that they have.
And use your 16-year-old as your camera person?
No, actually, I have a number of different teams that I work with, lots of them with great skill sets. And I use my 16-year-old as talent sometimes. So 8-year-old as talent sometimes.
Yeah,
but for the most part, I spent the first year and a half of my business, what I like to say, kissing frogs, because it's not easy to build a team that you can rely on, that you can depend on, and that you can very easily say, yes, we can do this, Mr. Client, because I have the team to support it. One of the main differences, for example, in our Google campaigns, for example, is that I work with former Google strategists that have worked for Google, have strategized for businesses of pretty much any size, spending, from $10 to $45,000 a day, and that know how to, utilize the platforms to create, the best possible ROI for our clients.
No, that's awesome. And exploiting kids sometimes helps with the business. Maybe exploiting is a little bit too harsh.
I was gonna say,
Like,
not like that.
I know, I was just joking. So as far as, what about Claire, your ideal client? And then I think Kelsey has a question for you guys.
Okay. So for me, I would be looking for anyone who is wanting to start getting out there, building an online business. It's global opportunity. that I can offer, or affiliate marketing. You know, maybe they're just wanting to get extra income. They're not ready to launch a full-scale business or take something like that on. They're, you know, the other opportunity that I have available is at my sip-in shops. Maybe they have a business, they're going to get out in front of people. So when they book out as a vendor, I do, you know, I share photos to all of my platforms with like 20,000 people. I do live videos. It kind of gets people acquainted with being online.
Awesome. Kelsey?
So quick question that I thought of, because I hear this a lot sometimes when people are self-employed or getting into the business, they had a role model or someone that they looked up to, whether it's family or celebrity. So what, do you guys have a role model that kind of pointed you in the direction or got you started to think about being an entrepreneur? We can start with Claire.
Oh my gosh. I should have maybe one specific person. But like when I was in high school, I think a lot of us, especially if we're maybe first generation entrepreneurs, or if we had family, like for me personally, like my grandpa had jewelry stores out here, and they're Sicilian, so it was like, we're doing business, but we're not going to talk about it. It was always, we're not going to talk about money. We're not going to talk about any of that kind of stuff, you know? And so it was like, okay, I want to be in business, but
there you go.
You don't really, is that better? Sorry. You want to be in business, but you're not, you kind of have a general direction. So I just joined, you know, Future Business Leaders of America. I got into fashion. I joined tons of different groups. And I would say I kind of have gleaned certain traits or certain aspirations from various people at various points in life. I wouldn't, for me personally, I haven't like idolized one person per se.
Gotcha. What about you, Maria?
I think for me, it was more an ideal that I wanted to achieve. It was more, honestly, when I went into business for myself, I had no idea what it was going to be like. You know, you hear it all the time, but until you truly experience it, I had no idea. So in terms of, you know, inspiration from somebody specifically, I would say that a lot of my local clients that I worked with inspired me, because I would see, you know, I worked with local direct clients all through my career, people that went into business for themselves and developed, you know, huge companies. And I would get to know them in a personal level, and I would see that they were really no different than me in so many different ways. The one thing that they had that was different was, you know, that dream that was so alive and that, you know, willingness to make it happen day after day. So that's something that I felt I had, and I thought, well, if they can do it, I can do it too. So I don't take it for granted any day. I mean, every day that I can work for myself is a gift, and at the same time is the hardest thing I've ever done. Yet, you know, the level of fulfillment that you get is what keeps you going.
Yeah, and I think building that network, building the people around you is probably the most key piece in this whole thing. And that's what we try to do here at Our CEO Network too. We try to support those people that are along the journey and are trying to develop themselves and trying to get out there as entrepreneurs. That's who we are. So as we go to our last segment, there's always so many questions and always so many things we need to get to, but we got to pay the bills. We got to keep the lights going. So we always have to talk about our sponsors. So this next sponsor, I think Kelsey's very familiar with. So hang in there. We're going to be talking to Miss Maria and Miss Claire when we get back. Thanks for holding on there. We got a special giveaway, so hang in there with your questions and answers are soon to come.
I have a gift, and it's a healing gift to help others laugh and go through their lives, and I just want to share that. I would love to have just a really healthy relationship with everybody and be the person that I am in helping others grow. If you're a true entrepreneur, you have the spirit that's going to carry through, and they're self-motivating and reliant upon themselves for everything. Suburban is a company that hangs its hat on its reputation. You know, we're all about that handshake and a smile and the pat on the back. I believe in networking so you can meet other like-minded people and trade business secrets and help each other grow. My name is Jeffrey Wasaklo, and I'm the Marketing Director for Suburban Mortgage. And this is our CEO Network. I did think you would forget about that.
That was Miss Jeffrey Wasaklo with Suburban Mortgage. Miss Kelsey, I think you know who that person is, right? Are you familiar with her?
I've met her a time or two. She's kind of a local celebrity.
For you guys that didn't know, Kelsey Rognes is a lender from Suburban Mortgage. So I want to shout out to them for always being a sponsor. And, you know, of course, Kelsey, because she's our co-host. But we are here with Miss Maria Lip and Miss Clara Fifield.
The last time was good. Yeah.
So this is our open Q&A session. So I want to thank everybody for hanging in there. Whoever's still watching, go ahead and ask your questions for our panelists as well as us. We're here to answer whatever it is you want to. But I think I will lead the pack a little bit. You know, I've always noticed, you know, with a lot of mompreneurs that we come across, because we come across quite a few, is that they always seem to be kind of entailed into many businesses. You know, they'll be doing, not to give any plugs, there'll be like the shake business, there's the workout business, and there's quite a few things. And do you as an open question, whoever wants to answer, do you think that's because they don't have a niche or something to kind of go to? Is it just people trying stuff? I mean, what is, you know, is that a commonality that I'm noticing between, you know, mompreneurs and that are out there? Anybody?
I mean,
wants to go. I can answer. Okay. So I am like a, you know, selling the products online girl, but I think some of the stigma around it before was people not using attraction marketing and, you know, just spamming stuff everywhere, spamming your friends and neighbors and everything. And some of that comes from people who are just trying to get started in something. Sorry, I'm reading the notes you guys are sending. They're just trying to get started. Maybe they, you know, like I said before, maybe they're first generation entrepreneurs. They're trying to create a better life for their family. They don't know anything about LLCs or having a mentor. They don't have a prior network. For me, I jumped into network marketing as one of my streams of income because everything's already set up. It's completely online. There's affiliate links and referrals and everything plugged in, which is very on trend. Some of the other companies don't really have that yet, but I think it's a great opportunity for someone who maybe isn't ready to go and do grant writing and try and get like SBA loans and all that kind of stuff, you know, because it's like you just get plugged in and you get going. So I think the industry kind of gets a little bit of a bad name, but it is changing because people are realizing like, okay, we can't use the old ways of marketing, you know, and having my mom as the only customer, something like that, you know, it's not sustainable.
Yeah, it always seemed to be like a trend. You know, when somebody signed up for like, I think it was, there was some green drink or something. And then you see the mass marketing, you know, all of a sudden they were a ghost on Facebook. And then all of a sudden you start seeing all like, I don't want to call any specific one out, but you see the green drink people and they do like 20 posts a day because that's what they had to do, or that's what they were told.
Or they get their friends to post too.
Yeah, and then that's how they're being coached. And so that's something, and Maria probably knows this, how, you know, and especially now that COVID's hit, you have to be relatable to your audience. You kind of, and hers is a little bit different, but for me personally, like my kids are kind of part of my brand, you know, being a single mom, it's like, that's why I started the Sip and Shop, was so moms could be able to bring their kids, not have to pay for daycare. It's like a kid-friendly environment. But if I was just like, here's the Sip and Shop and a flyer every day, no, people want to see like the kids, they're having wings and know that the kids can come and it's like fun, or, you know, other people involved in sharing more of, you know, curiosity posts, attraction marketing type thing. And so for me, I'm really happy that COVID happened, because I feel like a lot of people are figuring out online marketing a little bit more.
Do you want to answer the question from the audience, Maria?
Oh, sure. Yes, no, definitely. I mean, I think when you have people trying different products, it's a survival, you know, mechanism. You're trying to make ends meet. You're trying to, you know, do things for your family, so you're with very, you know, sometimes with very little knowledge about how to do it. You know, one of my, I will call it talent, is selling, right? But not a lot of people have the talent of sales. So it makes it really difficult sometimes to be able to sell a product when you don't like to sell things. So a lot of times you don't necessarily recognize that it's, you know, it's not the product, it's you, right? So it might be maybe that they're trying to look for a different fit. I remember way back in the day when I first got married, I did my time with a certain cosmetic line that is very prominent, and I wasn't good at it.
Okay.
You know, I just could not get into selling makeup, right? So it wasn't the right fit for me, as opposed to later, you know, earlier in life when I was selling mattresses. I was like the #1 salesperson in the, you know, in the state. It's all about finding that fit, that product that fits you, that you can talk about without it feeling awkward or weird or just, you know, dreading it. Every day that I wake up in my current position and my current work, I wake up excited. I wake up looking forward to what the day will bring, and, you know, what new things we're going to, you know, be able to get into. I'm now, you know, I've learned about you know, commercial shooting, for example. So now I'm excited about buying equipment, drones and different cameras, to be able to be a little even more creative for our clients, you know. So that's something that came about that I never knew I even liked, right? So one of the things that I would recommend to the audience out there is find something you're passionate about, and that way you'll never have to sell anything ever again.
You know, I do know about the equipment part, you know, because we do videos as well. And we've never been a, you know, compete kind of business, but I do have things coming from Amazon quite frequently. That
I know.
I know. Every time that I've ever gone to Robert's house, there's a box outside, and I'm like, "Hey, your Amazon package."
Oh yes. Yeah, I just got this new.
My house too.
I got this new monitor clip for my camera for my my monitor. So sorry, Violet.
I talk about like the makeup stuff is so funny because it used to be bigger than I feel like it is, but everybody would have videos of them like, I'm going to go live and do my makeup. And I'm like, no, I don't.
Please, not another. I mean, some people are really passionate about makeup, but I don't want to see someone get ready every day. That's just my personal opinion. I also don't want to film myself. I'm like, you know, I've got 2 styles and that's it. So
there's actually, there's a YouTube, somebody who's on YouTube has her channel, and she does her makeup. She talks about different things, and it's actually quite interesting. But as far as a product, I was always like invited to parties and like, oh no, not another one. I've already seen someone do their makeup this week. I don't.
yeah.
Well, that's kind of the thing too. Is like, you know, when somebody starts a business, like Kelsey does the candle stuff.
No, I used to. A certain company closed. Unexpectedly.
But that's kind of the thing with like social media and the things we have going on now. It's like you have to kind of get it out there that you're selling this stuff or you have this service, and you don't want to, you know, bug people about it, but you kind of have to, you know. You don't want to lose that sense of self and who you are, but you kind of have to sell yourself. I mean, it's really tricky trying to be that person and not be the salesman, I guess, right? As that kind of experience.
You know, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna say with the candles, honestly, I just really like candles, so it was for me.
Well, and I think a lot of it sometimes is a mismatch in product and yourself. Because, for example, I have sold everything under the sun. I have sold long distance phone services, like I mentioned, mattresses. That's how I put myself through college, is, working at a mattress store and going to school full time. And then, anything pretty much that you can think of, I have sold it. And every single time that I have, with the exception of a couple of jobs that I no longer have because it didn't work out, it was because it wasn't a good fit. And you can see through that. There's two things that you can see through when people are trying to sell you something: desperation and a mismatch. Because if you can't truly convey that you believe in the product that you're selling, or that you're desperate to sell the product, that's the biggest turnoff. So I think, sometimes when you're able to convey your passion and you're driven by that passion for what you're selling, for what you're doing, it doesn't come out salesy anymore. It is just something that you're really excited about.
Yeah, you want it to be sincere for sure.
Well, I mean, even we talk about desperation, you talk about that desperation really comes from a source of like wanting to feed your kids, right? I mean, that's really where the desperation comes from. It's not really desperate. It's like, hey, I just need to put food on the table, and these are my only options right now. I can't leave home. I can't go to a corporate job. The bosses that I work for don't give me the allowance to, have daycare or have a place for me to go, so these are the options I have. And so, have you had those experiences, Claire, or anything like that, where you maybe walk away from a meeting and it's like, oh shit, I really fluffed that one up because I just needed to feed my kids this week, kind of thing. Have you ever experienced that?
Yeah, I have. And that's like why I'm really big on like scheduling it out, time blocking my day. For me, that helps out a lot. Having everything written down, brain dumping, like you guys are like, something might be over your microphone. I'm like, yeah, here's one of my 6 notepads because I remember everything, right? There's only one logical way to kind of circumvent that, and that's to take the leap before you're ready. If you're unhappy, you never know what's going to happen in life, even if you've got a partner or a spouse or whatever, or you've got a big network support system, something can happen to that support system. And then what do? You know what I mean? Like, I'm really fortunate that I have a good network of other entrepreneurs and, the community and things like that are close. But you have to think what's going to happen if one of those pieces goes away. And that can be sometimes for single moms a daily struggle, because sometimes something can just drop out from under you and you've got to do it quickly, but you got to make sure you're eating good. You don't want to be having crazy stuff in your body, or you're not gonna make it. I mean, you're gonna be all over the place.
Yeah, and I understand that part. We're coming to the end of our show. I told you it goes by quick. We got on the call before this, and we're trying to wrap things up. We have about 5 minutes left, and we have places and things to do, unfortunately, but we do have a last couple wrap up things for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and mention our CEO network real quick. Our CEO network is looking for entrepreneurs and small business owners. So if you want to market your business, you want to be part of our network, please contact us here at Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, or go to our website, ourceonetwork.com, and we can help you with your sponsoring and marketing needs. So Kelsey, do you want to talk about our giveaway before we head off into the wild blue yonder?
Yes. So our giveaways are 10% off of Modere. This is through Claire's website. And then there's also a free consult, I can talk, through Spotlight Media with Maria. And everybody, actually, I didn't know this before the show. I should have known, but everybody wins. Everybody can get this giveaway.
Everybody wins.
It's awesome. I've actually used Modere, so I, personally, I can back that. I've seen, Maria's work, so the free consult. I can't say consult today. I don't know, but anyway, both are great. They're great.
Strategy session.
Yeah,
So,
they're super great. Giveaway prizes to the audience, and everybody can get one, which is awesome.
so Ms. Claire, I'm going to give you about a minute to wrap up and share anything you would like. I'm going to go ahead and post your information as we go along. Claire, go ahead.
Okay, so like I said before, if anybody's needing, to get going, they need some of that quick plan B type stuff, feel free to shoot me a message. I can help, personal coaching, all that kind of stuff. Or if anybody wants to be a vendor and wants to physically get products out there, I'm also partnered with the Be Daring Foundation. So when you book a vendor booth through me, you get half page of ad space for $100 with them.
So connect with Claire, and she's got her sip and
Sip and shop, yep. Have a drink, have some wings, have a little day.
Yeah, she does have her events that come up, and we are supportive of that. And then Maria, you get one word yourself while I go ahead and put your contact information up.
Thank you. Well, Spotlight Media Services, we're a full service multicultural marketing agency. As I mentioned, anybody that wishes to get in touch with me will get a free strategy session where we can really help you narrow down, who your audience target is, and just, all of the different things that you will need to either execute on your own, or if you need our help, we'll be more than happy to help.
Starlight Media Services. Ms. Kelsey Rognes, do you have a last word of the day before we head out?
Last word of the day, man. So I was gonna say, I guess the biggest thing is our contest that we have going. I think is
the contest we have going. Oh, well, let me go ahead and put that right up, Ms. Kelsey Rognes.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, wait, this is like, I think this is the word, right? Contest. Share your success story. We're looking for entrepreneurs and small business owners. Win a free professional video, live interview, and 1 month of social media content. You send your story to info@ourceonetwork.com. So that's my last word of the day. I think, I guess as well, the Mompreneurs, you guys are awesome. I can't even imagine, I don't have kids, so I can't even imagine that balance. I can't find enough time for mine. So, hats off to you both for being out there and creating something, really great.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for the inspiration, Miss Claire, Miss Rognes, Miss Maria. We will catch you, actually not next week, because next week we're moving to a new office space, and so you'll be seeing us live at a new venue. So if you want to be part of that, just go ahead and contact us here at our Facebook, ourceonetwork.com, and we will catch you guys next time.